nice day to work. Whoa! Whoa! Are you breaking into my house? Wait a minute. I know you. You're just hungry, aren't you? I knew it. Let's make some pasta. To make pasta, you'll need your first ingredient. 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So, our first step will be dumping the flour out onto our clean counter and making a little flour volcano. After we make our flour volcano, we'll have to go over to the fridge and get a couple eggs. How'd you get in here? Well, we're gonna need 2 eggs. I use these because they're pasture raised, so that means the chickens weren't confined to cages. You know, I don't like that. After we get our 2 eggs, we'll just crack that into the center of our flour volcano. 1 and 2. After we get our eggs into the flour volcano, we'll have to grab a fork and slowly mix these eggs, slowly start incorporating the flour into the eggs, and eventually you'll form a dough. And at this point, you'll just want to scrape off your fork and start kneading it by hand. As the dough starts to form, you'll start to want to push and then flip it over, push, flip over, push, flip over, and just do that over and over again until your dough starts to form. At the end, you should have a dough like this. It's nice and yellow, and it's not too sticky, and it's not too dry. All right, so now that we've made the dough, now we can start rolling it out. We're gonna grab our trusty rolling pin, and we're just gonna start rolling it out. And so you wanna roll it out and then turn it, flip it over, turn it. And you don't want any flour on the counter because that'll make it stick, will make it not stick to the counter. So you just keep rolling, flipping, turning, and rolling again until eventually you'll get to about a quarter thick, give or take. And so the thing with homemade pasta is that usually if you don't have a pasta maker, it's gonna be a little thicker, which is kind of what a lot of people like when they make homemade pasta. It's very different from box pasta where it's really, really thin. And it's just, the texture is a lot different. It's better in my opinion. To make a fettuccine shape, or a fettuccine-like shape, you're gonna have to fold it once, and then again. And that will get you that long, thick fettuccine noodle. And so, once we grab our knife, we'll just saw it. And the reason why you wanna saw it is so that you don't crush in between the little layers. Once we get to the middle, you can see that we'll start forming longer noodles, kind of like this. And the reason why you don't want to saw it is so that you don't compress those layers together. All right, so now that we've had our pasta noodles floured and unraveled, we'll take them over to that boiling pot of water and we'll put them in there. So now we just toss them into the water. Don't splash yourself with boiling water. And they should be done when they float to the top, and they'll be done around 3 to 5 minutes. So now that we're floating at the top, as you can see, if you don't know if they're done, you can just eat one and hopefully they'll be done. So we'll just take these over to the counter and we'll take them out of the boiling water. All right, now that our pasta is finished cooking, I'm just gonna make up a little simple sauce with butter and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You want these tongs here so you can transport them into our butter bowl. And the good thing about these tongs is that they'll also transport some of the boiling water, and that will allow a lot of the butter to melt, and it will make the sauce a lot creamier. And slowly we'll start adding our cheese. And the reason why we don't do this over the stove is because we don't want the cheese and the butter, we don't want the emulsification to break and then it'll get all grainy. You ever have a macaroni and cheese or just some type of cheese pasta where it was grainy? That's because the sauce broke. All right, so after we made our sauce, we'll just put in a little salt and pepper just to make it taste better. And that's in my cabinet. How'd you get in there again? Well, whatever. Salt and pepper. Now that we have the salt and pepper, we can just Do a few cracks of that and a few cracks of pepper. All right, now we can finally eat our delicious pasta. Mmm. Delicious.
Didn't you eat already? You should leave by now.